20 unexpected facts about the British royal family's wealth. The British royal family is a symbol of power and enormous wealth. The royal family is full of rules, traditions, and surprises. Watch to the end to learn the 20 surprising facts about the royal family's money. After the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, the monarchy and the Queen's estate was passed down to King Charles III. King Charles III, Prince William, and Prince Harry all have personal wealth sources that they also earn as royal family members. Income from the inherited estate also adds to their wealth as members of the British royal family. Number 1. Prince William and Prince Harry's inheritance. Prince William and Harry got £21 million as an asset from their mother, Princess Diana. The princes each received a total of £13.4 million each, along with interest accrued for waiting until they were 30 to access the money. However, they did have access to the money on their 25th birthdays. Their inheritance included items from the late Queen, like a wedding dress, exquisite jewelry pieces, a diamond engagement ring, a Cartier watch, photographs, and more. Number 2. Sovereign grant and inheritance tax exemption. The sovereign grant. Every monarch receives a sovereign grant from His Majesty's Treasury (HM) for the welfare of the royal family. The grant is generated from the profit from the Crown estate. Part of the grant is used to pay the royal staff and official travel expenses, as well as maintaining the palaces. The sovereign grant is not fixed. It changes from time to time, which affects the size of the grant. The grant was 15% during 2017-2018, but is currently 25% of the Crown Estate's overall profit. The British royal family has limited control over the Crown Estate because they don't own it. It's run by an independent group, which spends the remaining 75% for the benefit of UK citizens. Exception from inheritance tax. Every rule has an exception, which is the case with the British royal family on the UK inheritance tax law. Owners of estates worth more than $370 million are expected to pay 40% as inheritance tax. The late Queen was worth over $500 million, not including what she inherited when she ascended the throne. Everything will be transferred to Charles III, and he's expected to keep everything. Number 3. The Duchies. The Duchy of Lancaster. The British royal family, especially the king, has a separate source of income, commonly referred to as the Duchy of Lancaster. The estate consists of 45,550 acres of land, estimated to be worth $748 million. The Duchy of Lancaster is a unique portfolio of land, property, and other assets held in trust for the Duke of Lancaster, who earned £24 million through the Duchy of Lancaster in 2022. The Duchy of Cornwall. The Duchy of Cornwall is a private portfolio that contains land, honors, franchise, rights, and profits. It's currently held by King Charles III, who's the oldest living son of the royal family. The Duchy of Cornwall has over 135,000 acres of land and generated around $26 million in 2021. The entire portfolio is worth around $1.3 billion. The duchy is tax-exempt, but King Charles III has been voluntarily paying taxes since 1993. Number 4. Personal assets and investments of the king. King Charles III is the wealthiest member of the royal family, with his net worth estimated at $600 million, 5 times more than when the Queen was alive. Royal palaces and the crown are not King Charles' property to monetize, though they are also inherited from the late Queen. King Charles III has investment portfolios and private estates like Balmoral Castle and Sandringham House. Both were inherited from the late Queen. Balmoral Castle is part of King Charles' private estate, inherited from the late Queen Elizabeth, who inherited it too. It's the most significant estate residence in Aberdeenshire, with over 50,000 acres of land. It's estimated to be worth $140 million and is the royal residence where the late Queen spent her last days. Sandringham House received hundreds of flowers to commemorate the Queen's passing. Norfolk House is estimated to be worth $65 million, according to Forbes. Number 5. Prince William was a pilot. Prince William retired in 2017 as a helicopter pilot for the East Anglian Air Ambulance Service, earning $62,000 annually, which he donated to charity over 2 years. He was a military rescue helicopter pilot for 7 years, performing over 150 search and rescue missions. Number 6. Prince Harry has a military career. Prince Harry served in the military for 10 years, where he went on 2 Afghanistan tours and rose to the rank of captain. He retired in 2015 and earned over $600,000 during his service. Number 7. Kate Middleton's event planning company. Kate Middleton's parents have an event planning company named Party Pieces. Princess Kate worked at Party Pieces, where she took on many projects like catalog design, marketing strategy, and photography. The average pay of an event planner is estimated at $45,000 according to PayScale. She was the team lead during the launch of First Birthdays, a company that specializes in planning baby parties. Number 8. Royal family's biggest expense. The British royal family spends more money on property maintenance than anything else. It makes sense since their property is the highest contributor to their wealth. The Sovereign Grant Summary of the year 2021 shows that property management, like maintenance and long-term servicing like the recent renovation of Buckingham Palace, cost the royal family £49.5 million. Staff payroll is next, which costs £24.1 million. And to reduce cost, King Charles III has publicized his intention to reduce the royal staff. Number 9. Church of England. The church cannot be owned by anyone but the monarchy. The British monarchies remain the head of the Church of England since it was separated from the Roman Catholic Church by Henry VIII in 1534. The Church of England is the 8th wealthiest religious body after the Church of Sweden. It's currently valued at $11.97 billion. The current British monarch, King Charles III, is the head of the Church of England, while the Archbishop of Canterbury remains the senior pastor and principal leader of the church. Number 10. Patrons of charity organizations. The British royal family supported several charity organizations for more than 900 years. They help charity groups attract sponsors and funds required to actualize their projects to help improve people's lives. In 2012, the late Queen Elizabeth was reported to help various charities raise $1.4 billion annually, according to a report from Charities Aid Foundation. The late Queen was the patron for over 600 charity groups, likely to be inherited by King Charles III, who will also pass some of his patronages to his son, Prince William. Number 11. The Crown Estate. The net worth of the Crown Estate is estimated at $34.3 billion in assets. The Crown Estate is the third largest landowner in the UK, with 678,420 acres distributed in Wales, Northern Ireland, and England. The portfolio has a diverse orientation from buildings, shorelines, seabed, forestry, agricultural business, and others. The Crown Estate belongs to the monarch, but only as the crown bearer. The monarch cannot sell any property of the Crown Estate. Number 12. Palace of Westminster. The palace is owned by the royal family and is on loan to the House of Parliament. It's since become one of the prominent institutions in the UK. It's remained the House of Lords and Commons for centuries. Number 13. Palaces. Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is widely known as the home of the British monarch. It was acquired by King George III from the Duke of Buckingham in 1703 and has since served as the British royal residence. Aside from being the royal residence, it's also used by the monarch for administrative duties and is valued at $4.9 billion. Kensington Palace. Kensington Palace has been used as a residence by many royal family members since the 17th century. The palace is in Kensington Garden, a neighborhood of London. It's valued at $630 million and is managed by Historic Royal Palaces, a nonprofit organization. St. James Palace. Henry VIII commissioned St. James Palace and used it as a secondary residence to escape stressful court life. The palace complex is comprised of York House and Clarence House, where the current king stayed with his sons William and Harry during the 1990s, and was also the former home of the Queen's mother. Charles III and his wife Camilla also stayed at Clarence House until he ascended the throne in 2022. The property is estimated to be worth $690 million. Palace of Holyrood House. The Palace of Holyrood House is the official residence of the English monarch in Scotland. The palace was previously owned by Mary, Queen of Scots. Queen Elizabeth II opened the palace to display royal collections to the public when the royal family was not around. The palace is valued at $63 million. Number 14. Tower of London. The Tower of London, officially referred to as His Majesty's Royal Palace, is a historical castle owned by the Crown Estate. It's currently open to visitors as a museum and is protected as a World Heritage Site because of its historical significance. The property is the most valuable single property in the United Kingdom. It's valued at $81 billion. Number 15. Castles. Windsor Castle. Windsor Castle was built by William the Conqueror, located in Berkshire outside of London. Windsor castles remained occupied by the British monarch since their takeover in 1100. It's the largest and longest occupied castle in all of Europe. The royal family sought refuge at Windsor Castle during World War II, and Elizabeth II used it as her primary residence. King Charles III owns it under the right of the crown, and it's valued at $574 million. Hillsborough Castle. Hillsborough Castle is the single official royal residence of Northern Ireland. Built in the 18th century for the Irish Marquess, but owned by King Charles III under the Crown's rights. Peace talks and negotiations are usually held at Hillsborough Castle each time there's an issue in Northern Ireland. It's estimated to be worth around $92 million. Number 16. WAITROSE Duchy Organic. King Charles III started a company called Duchy Originals in 1990. The company produces organic food with hundreds of products. The company partnered with Waitrose in 2009 and has since been called WAITROSE Duchy Organic. All profit from the company is donated to Wales Charitable Fund, owned by the Prince of Wales. The company's donated over $35 million to charity since 2009, but most recently the $4.1 million profit made in 2021. Number 17. Valuable gemstones and jewelry. The Diamond Diadem. The diamond diadem was initially made for George IV in 1820 and was regularly used by Queen Victoria after jewels from the royal collections were used to reset and beautify it. It was later used by the late Queen Elizabeth, first during her coronation in 1953 and at least once a year at the beginning of a new parliamentary session. The diamond diadem is one of the most recognized of the late Queen's crowns, estimated to be worth $6.9 million. The KOH-I-NOOR diamond. The KOH-I-NOOR diamond is one of the largest diamond cuts in the world, and it weighs around 105.7 carats. It was used to design the crown of the late Queen's mother. The origin of the diamond is controversial, as different sovereign states like India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran have claimed it. The diamond is valued between $140 and $400 million, but is often described as priceless, perhaps because of its controversial history. The Cullinan diamond. The Cullinan diamond was discovered in South Africa in 1905 and was gifted to Edward VII. The diamond remained the largest gem-quality uncut diamond ever found. Edward VIII cut the diamond into 9 major stones, 90 minor ones, and 19.5 carats worth of unpolished fragments. Part of it was used in crown jewels, and the late Queen Elizabeth owned the remaining 7. The largest Cullinan stone is valued at around $400 million and is popularly referred to as the Star of Africa. The Stuart sapphire. The Stuart sapphire is placed at the back of Queen Elizabeth's crown. It was in the front until Edward VII acquired the Cullinan II diamond. The Stuart sapphire contains 104 carats and is valued at £2.5 million. The Sovereign scepter with cross. One of the essential crown jewel collections is the sovereign scepter. It was commissioned in 1661 during Charles II's coronation. The Cullinan I was included in the scepter in 1910. It contains the largest uncut diamond in the world. Coronation necklace and earrings. The coronation necklace and earrings were specially designed for Queen Victoria when she was on the throne. The necklace and earrings contain diamonds from KOH-I-NOOR and the Lahore diamond. The late Queen Elizabeth II first wore the set during her coronation and more often throughout her reign. The collection is currently worth approximately $345,000. Coronation ceremony regalia. The coronation regalia contains the imperial crown, the crown of St. Edward, the royal scepter, the orb, the ampulla that contains anointing oil, the sword of mercy, the sword of the state, the sword of offering, the sword of temporal justice, the sword of spiritual justice, and many other items of historical significance. The value of the coronation ceremony regalia is hard to say, but it's surely worth a large fortune. Number 18. Engagement ring. Lady Diana Spencer chose her engagement ring called Marguerite before her marriage to Prince Charles, a move that rattled the public because it was from a jeweler's catalog instead of the royal family's. The ring is a unique 12-carat oval Ceylon sapphire with 14 solitary diamonds around it. The ring costs around £47,000 to £65,000 when it was purchased and is currently priced around £300,000 to £413,000. The engagement ring has become precious jewelry in the royal jewelry collection. Prince William proposed to his wife with the same ring. Number 19. Art collection and SEVRES porcelain. The British royal family has an extensive and valuable collection of art, drawings, paintings, and tapestries. Leonardo da Vinci's drawings. Leonardo da Vinci is one of the most popular and influential artists and polymaths in history. The British royal family has one of the richest collections of Da Vinci drawings. The collection contains over 600 drawings, including the anatomical sketch of the shoulder, arms, and foot skeleton. The anatomical drawing is displayed at the Queen's Gallery in Buckingham Palace. In July 2022, a single and small Da Vinci sketch was sold for $12.2 million. Imagine how much 600 pieces of a more elaborate sketch would sell for. Michelangelo's drawings. The British royal family has over 18 drawings from Michelangelo, including one called The Resurrection, drawn circa 1532. Michelangelo's drawings are priced between $5 million and $24 million, depending on the size and medium of the piece. Rembrandt painting. Buckingham's gallery contains a Rembrandt painting entitled Agatha Bass. It was a gift to the royal family to George IV from one of his lords. Rembrandt's paintings have been sold for over $180 million. The value of Agatha Bass is unknown, but is sure to be worth a fortune. Claude Monet's painting. In 1949, Queen Elizabeth purchased The LeBlanc by Claude Monet. The painting was part of the study of rocks, sold at $2,300, and was worth about $17,000 in 2002. The painting is currently on display at the Queen's Gallery at Buckingham Palace as part of the Royal Collection Trust. Fabergé eggs. The Fabergé eggs were created for the Russian imperial family between 1885 and 1916. It was commissioned by Tsar Nicholas II and made by Peter Carl Fabergé. The royal family acquired it in 1933. The royal family of England has at least 4 Fabergé eggs in their possession, which are currently on display at Buckingham Palace. Original Fabergé eggs are valued between $4 million and $33 million. SEVRES porcelain collection. The royal family owns the world's most extensive collection of SEVRES porcelain. Such historical pieces are worth around $4,000 to $8,000, and the price can be higher in some cases. Tapestry. Raphael makes the miraculous draught of fishes, circa 1515, illustrating 2 biblical miracles. It's owned by Royal Collection and displayed at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and valued at millions. There's a Flemish tapestry on the wall of Hampton Court Palace. The tapestry depicts the life and biblical story of Abraham. Henry VIII commissioned it in 1543. It was priced at £8,260 10 years after the commission and could be worth more than $1.5 million. Number 20. Parks. Included in the royal properties are parks that are under the management of the Crown Estate. Hyde Park. Hyde Park was a hunting ground during the reign of Edward VIII, after he took it from Westminster Abbey. The park is one of the best and most famous parks in London. Speaker's Corner is an open-air space where public demonstrations, discussions, speeches, and debates are allowed. Hyde Park is valued at $22 million. Greenwich Park. Greenwich Park is a former hunting ground in London that towers over the Thames River and the Isle of Dogs. It provides the reference point Greenwich Mean Time uses to determine the time zones worldwide. Greenwich Park is extended over 74 hectares of land and is under the management of Regent's Park. Richmond Park. Richmond Park was established in the 17th century by Charles I. It's the most significant royal park and one of the most vital natural reserves in England. The park is over 2,500 acres of land. It contains many deer, ancient trees, beetles, and fungi. It also has an abundance of ring-necked parakeets. The British royal family has a progressive source of income which varies. However, some property cannot be monetized by the monarch or any royal family member because they're under the Crown's right.